This morning we're going to learn how to prune a cut leaf or weeping Japanese maple. And as you can see, this tree is leaning over to one side, and that's probably where the tree is receiving the most sun. This side is bare. So the first thing that you do is you prune the dead branches, and the dead branches would look gray and brittle, like this one right here. You can still see the buds, but the branches are not red like the live branches. The buds are not vibrant. The next thing that you're going to focus on is to bring the tree back, and just think about a triangle. A triangular shape is what we want, because we want the light to penetrate all the way through. The dead branch I just cut is on the inside part of the tree, and the reason why it died is because it didn't receive enough sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start backing the branches up, the upper branches. I'll back up, like for instance here, I'm going to cut this to one pair of buds, and here to one pair of buds, so there's light that's going to go through the lower branches. These I'm going to leave a little bit longer. In fact, I'm not doing much pruning here. Over here, this branch is going straight up. You don't want a branch to go straight up unless you're trying to create a leader, which is the next platform layer. This tree has some platforms down below, but it has 3 branches here that are going to conflict later as the tree gets bigger. So one of these branches eventually is going to have to go. So this one probably will, this one in the center. So I am going to cut that branch, and I'm going to cut it closely here. There you go. And it makes the tree look a little bit more separated. You don't have a lot of clutter. So the next thing that I'm going to continue to do is to cut the upper branches to one pair of buds, like so. Down here, this branch is almost touching the ground. So it's all right for Japanese maple branches to touch the ground. But if you don't want that to do, you don't want it to do that, and you want to lift this branch a little bit, what you do is you cut the branches, these lower branches back like this, and still leave a little bit of fluff there and a little bit of branching, so that the tree doesn't look bare. If you're trying to contain the tree because you don't have enough space, some of these branches are going to be cut back. We don't have anything here to shade this branch, so I can take this branch all the way back to here, and likewise here. This branch is going straight up, so I'm going to just cut it back a little bit so that we create a flat branch here. This branch right here also doesn't have anything impeding it, so I'm going to cut it back to one pair of buds right here. And when you cut the trees like this, it invigorates them. So next year, the branches are going to be a little bit stronger. This tree is growing in the shade, so the branches are strong, but not as strong as they would be if they were growing in the sun. And you can count this branch, for instance, has 3 buds. One here at the end, the one in the middle, and here one very close to the trunk. I also want, these 2 branches are going to compete, so I'm going to cut this branch back to here, and this branch back to here. So moving over to this part of the tree, this branch is going to be cut to one pair of buds, as you can see over here. And I'm going to bring this branch back a little bit, so I'm going to cut it back 2 pairs in, like so. And see, what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to shorten the tree this way, and you know, so that if you don't have room, it doesn't, you know, grow out as much. This branch right here, I'm going to cut back to one pair of buds. So if anything else, you know, the main idea here is to keep the upper branches shorter, the middle branches a little bit longer, and then the lower branches way out here. So that's basically what we're going to do here. If you want this tree to be a bonsai style, this would be a good place where you could wire this branch and create the next layer. So, if you had a wire, this is what you would do. And then this would be the intermediate layer, this would be the lower layers. And this branch, for instance, that is curving into the center of the tree, I'm going to remove this whole branch here. Or if you wanted to have just a little bit of fluff, so a little bit of leaf coverage here, you could just prune this side and leave this side to come up this way. Eventually this branch is going to be shaded by this branch up here as it moves this way. The important thing with maples is just remember this is a little tree right now, but as this tree grows, the branches are going to get thicker and thicker. So that's what you have to keep in mind when you're creating layers. Remember the spacing of the layers right now. Like for instance, this layer here, the spacing is a little close. But then as the tree gets bigger, these two branches, will merge because it's going to get fatter, and so is this. So you don't want that, you just want branches to be alone and in their own space. We can leave this weak branch here now because, it's creating leaf space and color in the summer. But then later on, maybe next year, as this branch gets bigger, you can cut it, over here. And here's another dead branch. Branches also that go down like this from the center are not very attractive. So any branches that go straight down from the trunk, will be cut back. Here's a little stump from a previous branch that was cut a while back. You need to cut that too. Here is another dead branch, a gray branch, so that will go. And so you're creating space for the tree, you're creating air space, you're creating light for the tree, and you're making a nicer, more appealing tree to look at in the wintertime when the leaves fall off.